news analysis coming to you live on Politics and Business TV, Abuja. Many thanks for joining us. The headlines. In the Lagos State House of Assembly, Obasa returns as Akpabio or Salba panel's intervention collapses. Natasha threatens to expose Akpabio as group petitions Senate. Consumers kicks as federal government plans fresh power tariff hike. First face on Nigerian TV and Nike Agbaje Williams dies at 88. And in foreign news, China vows countermeasures against U.S. new tariffs. Now the details of the news. The House Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, returned to the House in a shocking move on Thursday. Obasa was removed as Speaker by 36 lawmakers on January 13, 2025, came in the company of security officials and made his way into the Speaker's office around 9 a.m. It was reported that the move later left political stakeholders and the public in shock as the new turn of events appears to throw the House into more confusion following the leadership crisis that rocked the Assembly since Obasa's removal and his replacement with Mojisola Merenda, a former Deputy Speaker. The development also portends that perhaps the intervention of key chieftains of the All Progressive Congress, notably former Governor of Osun and Ogun State, Chief B.C. Akinade and Aremo Olusegun Osoba, respectively, did not resolve the crisis. It was learned that Akande and Osobas, alongside Governor Babaji De Sanwo-Olu and other party bigwigs, met with the members of the Governor Advisory Council at Marina and also met with the lawmakers of the House in a bid to find solutions to the Assembly crisis. It was gathered from GAC members at the meeting that the mediating panel, drafted by President Bola Tinubu, recommended the resignation of Obasa after his return and that Merenda should also step down to pave the way for another lawmaker from Lagos West Senatorial District to emerge as Speaker. Similarly, the senator representing Kogi Central, Natasha Akpabio, has vowed to expose the leadership style of Senate President Godswill Akpabio. Her declaration came after she was referred to the Senate Ethics and Disciplinary Committee following a confrontation with Akpabio over a seating arrangement dispute. Akpabio stated that she was ready to appear before the committee, but insisted that the proceedings should be open to the public rather than conducted behind closed doors. She made this known in a post on her Instagram account calling for a live broadcast of the probe. The senator's reaction followed a petition filed against her by the Northern Youth Advisory for Excellence to the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privilege, and Public Petitions. The petition accused Akpabio of corruption, abuse of power, and mistreatment of staffs within the Senate Committee on Local Content, which she chairs. The petition urged the Senate Committee on Ethics, Privilege, and Public Petition to conduct a thorough investigation into her alleged illegal, subversive, and intimidating activities and impose necessary disciplinary measures. Akpabio has, however, maintained her innocence and insisted on transparency, promising to speak openly about the allegations and other issues within the Senate leadership. And on economy, in its bid to enhance the liquidity of the Nigerian electricity supply industry, the federal government has said it is considering plans to regularize the electricity tariff to address disparities in the current billing systems of customers outside the Band A category. The proposed hike seeks to align tariffs for customers in the Band B and C categories with the 206 Naira rate paid by Band A customers who make approximately 15% of the total 12.82 billion power consumers nationwide. However, this plan by the government was opposed by power consumers and members of the organized private sector who wondered why the government had continued to hike the price of commodities in various sectors of the economy. This comes as the government admitted that it currently owes the 24 power general companies and 11 electricity distribution companies operating in the country over 4 trillion naira in electricity subsidiary. The Minister of Power, Akpabio Adelabu, made this known at the public presentation of the National Integrated Electricity Policy and Nigerian Integrated Resource Plan on Thursday in Abuja. This is news analysis on Politics and Business TV. We'll go on a short break, and when we're back, we'll bring you more reports. Stay with us. Welcome back. Media icon and philanthropist Anike Akpabio Williams has died at the age of 88. It was learned that Akpabio Williams died peacefully on Thursday in Ibadan, the Oyo state capital, where she had lived most of her life. Akpabio Williams was the first face on African television after she appears on the Western Nigerian television station, now the Nigerian Television Authority, on the test transmission night and on the official opening night on October 31st, 1959. She was also said to have been the first voice heard on Western Nigerian Broadcasting Service, Africa's first commercial radio station, earning the nickname Double First. In a statement on Thursday on behalf of the family, Banji Shokoya said her death is a moment of great sadness for the entire family and her loss would be greatly felt by all those who knew her. And in international news, China on Friday vowed to take all necessary countermeasures after U.S. President Donald Trump said he would impose an additional 10% tariff on China's imports, a decision Beijing warned would seriously impact dialogue. Trump's latest move would come into effect on Tuesday alongside sweeping 25% levies on Canadian and Mexican imports, intensifying a brewing trade war between the world's two largest economies. The 10% tariff on Chinese imports will come on top of an existing levy of the same rate imposed by Trump on China earlier this month. Trump had announced then halted sweeping 25% levies on Canadian and Mexican imports this month over illegal immigration and deadly fentanyls with Canadian energy to face a lower rate. And now let's join Abel Sunday for sports updates.
Good afternoon and welcome to P&B Sport News. I'm Abel Sunday. Arsenal 0-0 draw against Nottingham Forest at the City Ground looks like they have kissed the Premier League title goodbye. The team struggled due to injuries to key players like Kai Havertz, Bukayo Saka and Gabriel Martinelli. Ricardo Califori was one of the Arsenal's best attackers, coming close to scoring with a shot that rattled the post. However, he picked up an early yellow card and was substituted at halftime to avoid a potential second yellow card. The draw extends Arsenal's winless streak. Now to Liverpool. Liverpool took on Newcastle United at Anfield and it was a dominant performance by the Reds. They won 2-0 with goals from Dominic and Alex McAllister. Dominic's goal came after Luis Diaz walked the ball down to left and cut it back for the unmarked Hungarian, who fired home a close-range shot past goalkeeper Nick Pope. McAllister doubled the lead when Mo Salah cut the ball back for him and he punished Newcastle sloppy defending with a shot into the top corner. The win extends Liverpool's lead at the top of the Premier League table to 13 points. With 67 points from 28 matches, Newcastle, on the other hand, slipped one spot to 6th, 3 points behind 4th place Manchester City. That's all for sports today. I'm Abel Sunday.
watching News Analysis and Politics and Business TV, Abuja. And now to the focus of the day, fake drugs killer of our time. In a bold move to combat the deadly trade of counterfeit drugs, Nigerian lawmakers have proposed life imprisonment for individuals caught producing or selling fake pharmaceuticals. The push comes as a part of the recent amendment of the National Drug Enforcement Agency Act, which prescribes severe penalties for drug-related offenses. Under the new legislation, anyone found guilty of storing, transporting, or concealing dangerous drugs faces life imprisonment, particularly if they are armed or disguised with engaging in the crime. This move underscores the government's determination to protect public health and track down on the criminal network responsible for fake and substandard drugs, which have claimed countless lives across the country. The decision following growing concerns over the rise of counterfeit pharmaceuticals, which not only undermine public confidence in the healthcare system, but also poses significant risks on consumers. Lawmakers believe that harsher penalties will serve as a detriment to those profiting from the illicit trade at the expense of innocent Nigerians. As the debate continues, stakeholders in the healthcare sectors have welcomed the development, urging strict enforcement to ensure that those responsible for endangering lives faces the full weight of the law. Joining us to discuss this very sensitive topic, we have Yushua Aliyu, an in-house economist with us. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
A very good afternoon to you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. So, sir, I would like to ask, fake drugs is a multi-billionaire industry, and in all effort to eliminate it, it has proved abortive. Why is it so difficult to eliminate it?
Because there is cartel that is involved in drug marketing and distribution in the world. Just like money, you have cartel in money. Just like oil, you have cartel in oil. The same thing apply to pharmaceutical and drug production and distribution around the globe. That is one of the main reasons. And the cartel have syndicate in every location of our communities. And that is why it is very difficult, and it is also necessary for stakeholders to bring out legislation that will have an impact in drilling the expansion of the menace.
Okay, sir. Moving on, Professor Dora Okunyele almost lost her life as a DG of NAFDAC in her quest to crush the cartel of fake drugs. So, sir, I would like to ask, even the present DG of NAFDAC, she has also raised alarm saying that her life is being threatened. Just how bad is the situation if the regulators are being threatened?
There is risk involved in drug administration worldwide. And sometimes it is not necessary for those at the helm of the affairs to be making public utterances about the threats to their life. It is natural. Whether you are in controlling drug, anything associated with crime has a lot of implication to individuals thrive to curb the menace. And that is why it is necessary for drug administrators in Nigeria to learn from experience of other nations. You can, the more you pronounce, you brought out a threat against your life, the more you are encouraging the activity. It's like a commissioner of police to be telling the world that his life is under threat. So, in my own opinion and understanding, what is more important is that by the time you are taking the job of a drug administration, you have already risked your life. And if you are to do it diligently, you have to liaise with the security agencies to put maximum security to your life and your family, and then you continue to pursue it. Let me tell you, the former governor of Lagos State Ugo Marwa, who is heading the drug law, is doing his best. And also, he has officers on ground. The only thing is, to my understanding, is that not just merely putting legislation for life imprisonment, but also to provide adequate facilities to the drug law enforcement agencies to join forces with the drug legislations and officers that are in charge of limiting the extent of damage by fake drugs.
All right, sir. Also, the lawmakers recently pushed for life sentence against fake drugs dealers. Can this really work?
It's going to work because if you remove a syndicate, then definitely it's a minus to the drug cartel and distributing channel. So it's going to add, and because that is the highest penalty under democracy in some states like Saudi Arabia, it's not life imprisonment. If you are caught distributing drug, you go to hell immediately. So since we are under democratic setting and the maximum law under this the democratic tenant is life imprisonment, yes, of course, but one more important aspect is not just law process, but the efficiency of the forces that is used to fight these drug dealers. You know, in most cases, the peddlers have enough ammunitions, and they also have a lot of security network. So there is need to demolish them by force, because that is why we have drug law enforcement agencies to protect on the road, to protect at the production unit, and also to protect at the consumption unit. All these things are necessary, and by the time the law enforcement agencies discharge their responsibility, the legislation will help a lot in trying to curb the number of cartels, but not just to put somebody on trying to trace the syndicate is what is more important. Tracing, legislating for life imprisonment is a good one, but to track out or to bring out the important information required to trace the cartel is what will help the economy, is what will help the nation, to also help the global fight against fake drug consumptions.
All right. Finally, sir, what other measures do you think we can adopt as a country to fight against this menace?
It will start from the family level. You check people from the family, the household. Each and every household should make sure that drug abuses are reduced to minimum. That is the first thing. Second, religious institutions and political institutions must also strive hard to bring orientation and more awareness to the use of drug. I can recall vividly civil society groups can be initiated in all nooks and corners of our local government, so that we can educate our citizens, especially youth and women, because it's more rampant. If we can do that, definitely we can put an additional value to control against drug abuse.
All right, sir. Thank you very much for that wonderful insight. Still with us in the studio is Mr. Yushua Aliyu, an in-house economist. Thank you very much for joining us on the show for today.
Thank you, Inela, and happy Friday. Thank you.
Same to you, sir. All right. Still keep watching Politics and Business TV, Abuja. And that's a wrap for today. Bye for now.